Howdy do, buckaroos. This intro was originally going to be about how I'm trying a new thumbnail thing because I'm trying to see if it gets more clicks if I don't put any text or anything at all on it, like if maybe more people would be interested if it was just straight up a picture of the build. Which is I'm still doing that. I'm still trying to figure that out, but I also have had a time. My 5 subscribers maybe noticed that I failed to upload a video for the first time in several weeks. And that streak continued for a couple of days. It's because on very short notice, I had to go back to Chicago. For context, I am currently in Georgia. Had to go back to Chicago, move all of my things out of the apartment I was living in into a storage unit. Also, I looked at another apartment while I was there. And I had this whole video like completely ready to go aside from voiceover on Friday night before I left for Chicago on Saturday morning, but I hadn't done the voiceover, and so it didn't happen. Sorry about that. And I am so tired. I'm so tired. So, for context, have I said that yet? Dude, I don't know if I've said it before, but I'm tired. When you move out of the building I was living in, they give you these giant cardboard boxes set on dollies, and you put all of your stuff in the cardboard boxes, and most people wheel those boxes out to a car. And they put their stuff in the car and they move it wherever it needs to go. Well, I don't live there, right? So I suggested renting a car, and I forget who, but somebody in my family was like, no, you can just use, the cardboard things are called speed packs. They were like, you can just use the speed packs to get it to the storage facility. So here we are. Me and my dad. My dad, by the way, is kind of a remarkable human, but he is diabetic, and he does have heart disease. And also he's like 45. So he's just not as, strong and resilient as he likes to think he is, and thus we get ourselves into jams quite frequently. Anyway, we had to roll these giant cardboard boxes that are very loosely secured to dollies half that size 3 blocks down the street. The whole way, my dad is just going, how much further? How much further? By the way, I also have a huge issue with stair railings in The Sims 4. You can see in the window there that there's just a random railing. Also, at the top, they conflict with the fencing that I like to put around the top of the, giant hole stairs ripping the floor. Anyway, I'm frustrated by that. Back to my move out. Right, so we bring it to the storage place, and there's nobody in the storage place, and thankfully it's a self-storage place, but that still meant I had to figure out how the whole thing worked, like, entirely by myself. Except there was one nice couple that told me how to make the elevator work, and I thank God every moment of every day for that couple. They were very nice. They were very disturbed that we were talking to them, though. Sorry. My bad. Oh, here's where I complain about the bed swatches in The Sims again. Okay, glad we're done with that. Anyway, so that was my weekend. I also had to stay in a hotel downtown, and I don't go downtown. Why would a random college kid ever be downtown? There is no reason. So I am never downtown, which meant I had no idea where I was going or what was happening ever while I was downtown, and it was just absolutely miserable. Just completely and entirely miserable. But my dad saw drug dealers on the Red Line for the first time, so that was fun. Kind of hilarious. We're in my room packing stuff up after we get off the Red Line, and he goes, "That guy who came through saying squares and packs, was that drugs?" And I was like, "No, Dad, that was cigarettes." But the guy that came through going loud, 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 now that was drugs. That was weed. And it was. Good times. Oh, I wanted to talk about this little upstairs room. This can be like a roommate room or a kid's room, whatever. There's not really space for a whole lot of kid stuff unless you want to make like an outdoor area, but this is a tiny home. Actually, the you know, it's an actual tiny home, not a micro home or a small home. It's a tiny home. So if you do make an outdoor space, I would recommend doing the, I think I've said it before on the channel, where you, put down, oh right, I filmed this in several chunks, so don't mind me. I always say filmed. I captured this. Should I say captured? I don't know anymore. Right. To put a little deck area that doesn't go against your tile count, you want to start the fence on the ground, not the foundation level, and put yourself a little fence around the area that you want to be a deck, but don't close it, because if you close it, it'll raise it up to foundation level and make it a room. So don't close it, just put a gap in it instead of a gate. And then fill in that little fence area with floor tiles, and it'll look like a deck. And then you just put a door down from, you put stairs down from whatever door you're using to get to that deck, and you should be good. It's just a little lower level deck area. And then you could put kids stuff out there, probably, if you wanted to make have this like a proper child. The room is kind of set up for a teenager. I used that university rug. I hate the university rug, by the way, because you can just click and drag it in live mode, and literally I just drag it all the time. Every time it's in a build, I just click and drag. Even while I was building this, you watch me do it like 2 or 3 times, because I just accidentally click it and then it's moving and then I'm screwed. So yeah, I hate that. I thoroughly hate that. I'm also back on my wall hanging bullshit, so sorry. I don't think I've sworn in a video before. I swear like a sailor? Or is that like upsetting? Are people not okay with that? Because I really don't know. Like I have no idea. I built a build before this one, and I recorded the whole thing, and it was fine, but I just really didn't want to use it. Like, I just wasn't actually happy with it, and it was weird. I just didn't want to use it. It was another random modern build, and I'm just annoyed with how many modern builds I've been doing, and I wanted to do something small and traditional that wasn't going to be like 40 minutes long when I put it up. Because like I said, this was supposed to just be a thumbnail experiment. So I wanted to do like a clickable video, so something that was like 10 to 15 minutes. And yeah, so that 40-minute monster of a weird modern build did not see the light of day. But I used that blue Tiny Living couch in it, and I realized that I really like that Tiny Living couch, so I used it again just as a reference for myself, like just so that I could see it. Yeah, also, why can't you place things in the corners of tables? Like, I place things on the corners of tables all the time in real life. Also, right now I'm realizing I really wanted to just size down that movie hangout set of paintings I was just looking at, and I'm upset that I didn't. Anyway, that I feel like every time I make VO for this, I'm like, oh man, I should have done this. But tiny homes are something I'm pretty comfortable with. This one's not my favorite thing in the world, but I think it's really interesting looking, and it's different from what I usually make. And I took some of the modern things I've been playing with lately, and I sort of stuck them on a traditional frame that looks like what I always do. I'm trying to remember if I actually landscaped this. I think I did. There's a few minutes left in this video. I might have. I used a different window box, and I didn't put window boxes everywhere. Yeah, I did. Okay, I basic landscaped it. Yeah, I've been trying to get more into using flowers and things as not just put daisies around the edge of tree. That's usually how I use flowers. I'm trying to use them as intentional looking landscaping, but my landscaping never looks intentional. It always looks overgrown, because that's what I love. I so much prefer houses that look natural. But I understand that most people don't keep their homes that way. I know that's a me growing up in Georgia thing, but still, it's what I want all the time. I do put some kid stuff in the backyard. I just don't make a proper kid space. Anybody can swing on the swings or play basketball, you know? It doesn't have to be a child. I do my usual, make everything look dirty. Good times. Probably should have put something up on the stairs there next to the door. Just another plant or something. I fought with those windows so much. I brought them in and out and in and out. I get rid of that weird window. I don't know what I was thinking. I clearly wasn't going to bring it through the rest of the build, so I put it there. And then the flower box, and whoop whoop. These screenshots don't look great, do they? Well, you know what? I like the build. Even though it looks really bare for some reason, I like it. I think it's fun and different and rustic. Oh, I just caught that window overlaps now. Anyway, subscribe.